Welcome to SyncChess, an innovative chess variant that completely transforms a traditional game with one fundamental change. Both players move at the same time. This eliminates the first move advantage of traditional chess and adds a fascinating psychological element. But how exactly do you play? Well, let's start with the basics. In order to show you how to play, I've set two browsers with different users who will play against each other. This way you can see exactly how the board looks for both the player and their opponent. Here's an example of simultaneous moves. First, each player submits their move separately. As you see, black here moves the pawn up, and then you can either undo or submit. They submit the move. And not until white submits their move as well, until both players submit their moves, the board gets updated. So here's another example with a knight. One player makes a move first, and then the board gets updated once both players submit their moves. One of the most important rules is that you cannot move a piece twice in a row. As you see, I just moved my knight, and now I cannot move that piece because I can't move it twice in a row. Although there is some exceptions. If your king is in check, you are always allowed to move it, even if you already moved it in your previous move. One of the most interesting dynamics comes from what we call the swerving rule. If your piece tries to capture an enemy piece, but that piece moves away in the same turn, no capture occurs. Both pieces simply end up in their new destinations. As you can see, here, both knights try to capture each other. Instead, they just end up in their new squares. This left one of the knights very vulnerable, which can create fascinating mind games where you're constantly trying to predict your opponent's next move. You might be wondering, what if two pieces move to the same square at the same time? In that case, both pieces are removed from the board, creating interesting opportunities for sacrifices and exchanges. As you see here, both knights landed on the same square in the same turn, leading both of them to collide and be taken off the board. The collision rule is also valid for the king. If you collide with the king, this counts as checkmate, so be especially careful in endgames. If you deliver checkmate, you win immediately, even if your king also ends up in check. But what if both players deliver checkmate in the same turn? This is called a double checkmate. What would happen is that both players checkmate each other at the same time, causing a draw. Castling works exactly like regular chess, but it only counts as a king move. This means you can still move the rook in the next turn, but not the king, due to our no repeating pieces rule. To castle, you must move the king 2 squares towards the rook, and you can castle short or castle long. After both players submit their move, the board will update accordingly. Thank you for watching. You should now be ready for your first game of SyncChess. Feel free to ask any questions or email me with any feedback.